Hey guys, how's it going? We got a pretty chill mini cast with just me and Zarky here today.
So,
And yeah, it's just us, just a mini cast. This won't be too long.
or too short. It's just the right amount.
Yeah.
Actually, when this comes out, now it should be the day before the U.S. of Thanksgivings. I don't even know why I said that. Anyways, I think there's no real topic that we have,
I know.
but I mean, we kind of have the obligatory, thankful question of like, what are you thankful for? So,
yeah,
I mean,
that
we can
works.
just start off with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jacob, what are you thankful for?
I mean, I feel like the correct answer is always like random bullshit that people always say. It's like, yeah, I'm thankful for my friends, thankful for not being dead. The sun not exploding in on itself is a pretty cool thing to have. But does that shit really count?
I don't know about that third one. The second one is always like a common thing that everybody says.
But yeah.
I think the only people that would ever say that the sun exploding inwards would be astronomers.
Well, I mean, that's more of like a metaphor for just like dumbass shit. Like, I'm
Look,
happy
man,
that the sun is shining. I'm happy that the grass is growing. I'm happy that my mom is here. No offensive, those are things you're actually happy for, but my point is, I feel like a lot of that shit is really superficial when put into this light.
Oh yeah.
Like, my whole thing has always been Thanksgiving is kind of stupid because I feel like we shouldn't have to designate a day. We should just get together every now and then and just, catch up.
Have a good gay old time. Yeah.
You don't need some bullshit holiday.
That's why you try to. That's why we try to plan little AFK things.
I mean, also that holiday is about, the honoring of my people, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
It's not. I'm just
Columbus Tony didn't go around fucking and killing Central American people as well. No.
It's also important to notice that he was fucking little Native American girls, Central American girls that were children. He had little children slaves.
Just imagine if like he didn't find this continent and went to India, he'd be fucking little Indian girls.
No, because India was already a thing.
No, I know. I mean, like, because
he probably
would
would have, but that's not the point. They already had established society there.
Man, it's not like they're gonna tell him anything about it. They're just gonna be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's gonna be like, nothing."
Here's money.
Yeah, here's money. Here's the items we brought from like better lands. Would tell himself.
He was just trying to establish like a better trade route, if I'm not wrong.
I think so. All right, he's trying to find the quicker way to get to
here
or some shit. Yeah. So that's already off to a good start.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so I wanted to say shit that I'm actually thankful for. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
It's fine. I was gonna go back to revert to the question.
Okay. I was just gonna say I feel like it's totally way better to say more dumb shit that I'm thankful for. Excuse me. Like my eyes. So I have glasses because both my eyes are really terrible. And finally, after like a bajillion years of like since I was like 8, I had fucking needed glasses. Fucking finally, my eyes started plateauing, which if you don't know is essentially your eyes just kind of keep getting shittier and shittier and shittier. And when you have glasses, that shit kind of slows down where they don't get as bad so fast. Because your eyes aren't constantly trying to fight themselves to look not stupid. Anyway. My eyes hit the point where they're not going to keep getting dramatically worse every year now. Like, I used to have to go get glasses about every 6 months, but my eye doctor was telling me that, probably every year from now on. Maybe even less.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And, that's not, a super crazy thing. Like, my eyes are pretty bad, but, like, my glasses are fine. And it's not, like, a crazy big deal, but I think that's cool. I'm happy about that.
It's pretty good. I remember the first time you told us this, I was like, what? That's not true. And then you're like, yeah. I'm like, oh. Oh, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, whenever I'm like, oh yeah, my eyes are like in the triple digits with numbers, and people are like, fucking bullshit, and then I'm like, check out my glasses, and then like, if you've ever seen fucking Nash from Street Fighter 5, where like he takes off his glasses and they just fucking fall, like they're super heavy, like those are the glasses I have because they're so fucking thick because my eyes are terrible.
I mean,
And they're just like, oh, you do need glasses. Yeah, no shit. That's why I'm wearing glasses.
so I told you, you dumbass. Smack him.
What else? Oh, I finally found like the second half of my brother's old manga collection. So now I finally have. I was missing like the last 4 fucking issues, or like what the fuck are they called? Books, I guess. Of Fruits Basket. Yeah, volumes. There you go. I was missing the last like 4 volumes of Fruits Basket, and I was sure that Ken had him, and I was like, where the fuck are these things? Anyway, I was just cleaning through all this crap in the room that I am now using, that used to be his, and I was like, oh shit, here they are.
Here, yeah. I think we're both sick, aren't we? I think.
Yeah. I like to blame Xavier.
I like to blame me just being hella tired and then having to go to work and then just getting out at 3 a.m. and then
somehow, despite being there the longest, Kelsey just kind of doesn't seem to appear to be sick. She seems a little sniffly. But that just might just be, the horrible amount of smoke that is engulfing California.
That too. We're
not
just
thankful for that.
We're just slow roasting ourselves into death and whatnot.
I'm kind of used to it at this point. California's kind of just always on fire.
Oh yeah.
I feel bad for people whose homes it affects, of course, but I should just have
life will go on. I mean, I saw like a photo like the other day where it was like some guy who's also affected by fire. He was like I guess it was his manager texting him, and he was like, "Hey, so we're gonna close the shop down for tomorrow, like the rest of the week or whatever, blah blah blah." And he's like, "All right, cool." And then he gets like a message later. He's like, "Yeah, so we're not gonna close the shop at all. We're gonna do like by my house." He's like, "Nah, dude, you're fine. Just come in." He's like, "No, fuck you." But yeah, that sounded like I was making fun of it. I'm not.
Oh no.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, I guess maybe you should clarify on account of I can understand most of your sarcasm these days, but people listening may not be able to.
Oh yeah, no. If you go to the videos, I sound very sarcastic about everything that I say. Yeah. And that is like 89 or 98% true. It's only when like people like these guys see me in reality that I'm like genuinely saying, "Hey, let's go do X thing."
Fucking Zarky is like the biggest bitch because he likes to act like he's a fucking asshole who doesn't give a shit, and then you're like, "Hey Zarky, love you, man." And then he's like breaking down in tears, like, "Oh, whatever, you bitch."
I'm the biggest tsundere that you'll ever meet.
He's like real life tsundere. It's funny. Yo, legit like had to try really hard not to cry when me, Xavier, and I were dropping Kelsey off in the airport. Hey, I'm not good at that shit, dude. Because I was just like, man, I can't cry because then Kelsey's gonna cry and then Xavier's gonna make fun of us.
Yeah, it sounds about true.
That was like the primary reason I didn't want to like go with Xavier last time.
I mean, I probably would have left that you guys too. I've been like, haha, one whole tear. It's like, all right, get the fuck out of here.
I heard a bunch of it.
Oh, is Ricky?
And then,
We're just doing a little mini cast.
Ricky, what are you thankful for?
What?
We're doing the obligatory.
What are you thankful for?
What am I thankful for?
Yeah, I already said the fucking cliche one, so you're free to say whatever you want.
Which one did you say?
I'm thankful for my friends and my family and
family. And it's well, I'm thankful that I didn't die in many car crashes. That people did not know how to drive.
It's gonna start raining soon, Ricky.
I know it is. I know
People
it
are so stupid.
Thankful for my aunt's blind dog. So they're somewhere in the corner, sleeping or something. If I yell her name, she starts wagging her tail and hitting the wall. And then the generic one. You can go for my friends,
Yeah.
my family.
every time we say it like that, we gotta say it like
You have
that.
to say it like that every time.
Yeah, it's like you gotta say it like that. Or the way you can't not say it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Zarky?
Thankful for my friends and my family. Let's see. I mean, I'm thankful that I have a job, for the most part. How else would I supply this channel? Nothing. It's pretty much everybody.
Oh, dude, I'm fucking thankful to only have like 2 more weeks of school.
Hell yeah.
God, school's
Not-
the worst.
The system of educations. Yeah.
Fucking American school system. That's a whole nother fucking podcast.
I mean, they should add that into it.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, it's like I really am appreciative of having friends. I mean, especially close friends, because I can have friends. Like, I am pretty sociable when like I go out and shit. It's just I keep people far as away as possible.
Like at arm's reach.
As not like arm's reach is you guys. You guys are still arm's reach, just
yeah.
because I'm like.
Nah,
I'm
dude,
like-
we're at fucking T-pose range. The fuck you talking about?
Dude, I'm for
Yeah,
Date
you-
night dancing in the middle.
We're already just like chest bumping, constantly Fortniting. Even though I don't think any of us play Fortnite anymore.
I still kind of play. It's not that great, but yeah.
Wait, I forgot
You're
still
just
play
playing
on
because
Switch.
you put music on that. I mean, you put money into that.
Yeah. But I put money into it, and this season sucked. So that's all.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It's like, yeah, yeah, it's like I keep people like pretty far away. I would say that about my family too. It's like they're at arm's length, which I haven't like told them things. I'm all like, probably tell them, but I'm like, nah, never mind. But with you guys, like even then, I don't think I talked as much as I thought I would have, drinking wise. But I mean, I found out some stuff about pretty much everybody this weekend. Yeah, weekend.
This past weekend, sorry.
Past weekend. But yeah, I mean, like I found out about things, and then I realized when on my drive back home, I'm like, huh, I think these guys aren't anything else much about me. Maybe Kelsey, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't remember anything of it. I could probably ask her and be like, hey, you remember this? She'll be like, what? I'll be like, yeah, sweet.
He was listening to you. I learned.
I told you, like, here's some money. Let's buy some Iron Maiden.
Go buy Iron Maiden, and I was like, yeah, sure, yeah, totally. And then before that, you said some jazz, and I was like, sitting there like, with the confused, didn't know what to do face, and I'm like, oh, what do I do? And then Kelsey comes in for the save, drunk Kelsey, and I'm like, you think drunk Kelsey? DK.
Dang. DK. Every time we see her drinking, we gotta call her DK.
DK over here.
Yo, DK out here trying to bomb the drinks. Yeah, I'm actually curious now. What the fuck did I tell you?
Stuff.
Stuff that you may not want said on the podcast.
No, you may not.
Yeah, you told me after.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
To segue into out of this.
Yes.
I also, pretty much, actually, now that I think about it, outside of, like, this group and, like, my brother's group of friends, I've pretty much just taken everyone else out of my life. Like, I don't even bother communicating with any of, like, my old friends. There's, like, one other dude who's going to school to become, like, a journalist, and that's just because we talk about English shit. But, like,
yeah.
I used to be, like, on an online community of, like, people who wrote short stories and, like, fanfics. This because I was just getting into writing at the time, and like I've stopped talking to like all of them. Like, pretty much just you guys really, and I'm like super happy with that decision.
Aw, bitch. It's like
Yeah.
it's like
I'd rather
It's
become
an-
better
it's
friends
obvious,
with you guys than
obvious.
become better friends with like anyone else.
it's like. I mean, one thing that we can take out of all this that we're saying right now is that appreciate what you got and
We're some good friends.
get some,
Appreciate your friends.
appreciate your
our
friends and family.
You gotta say it.
You gotta say it. You gotta appreciate your friends
And
and
your
your family.
That's gonna be the name of the podcast. Friends and family.
You have to call. You have to put quotations on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta make it like pop out somehow. It's like italicize it somehow.
Italicize it and then put weird voice in parentheses.
So I haven't really been keeping up with it. I'm behind like 2 episodes. But how are you liking this new season of Ruby's, Arky?
This newest season of Ruby's pretty good actually. It's like they said, "Yo, here's the scripts. Someone read this." And then they give them feedback, and then they're like, "All right, we'll fix this."
The last like
As-
3,
as-
4.
Like the 2 seasons of like, "Yo, write this out, draw this out. This doesn't make sense. So just draw it out. Just draw it out."
It's already
Okay.
being animated. Go. The voice
We
actors have
haven't
already
animated.
recorded their lines.
We can't pay them again to do it over.
Even though they're all like internal employees,
They don't
Except
want to
for, like,
do it again.
5 or 6 of them. Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it.
It's
I was
good.
like,
I've
catch-
had like weird feelings about Ruby where I actually enjoyed season 1 and 2. And there's parts where like it dips for me. I guess like I would want a different thing with this show that we have. It's kind of not what I want it to be.
mm,
Because I'm like
Uh.
way more interested in like the world building instead of like the characters.
yeah. I mean, have I shown you the world building videos that they have?
No, but that's like
No,
the shit I
okay.
mentioned. I would love to see like the Rubyverse, and it's just like another city, and we don't have like any of the characters we have now.
All right,
and
so I
just
mean
shit
like,
like that. Like I'd be more
Yeah, yeah.
interested.
like
See,
I-
new
they are
characters,
releasing books.
Different thing. There you go.
They're releasing books based on like other characters that we've seen before, but like they're obviously not in the series. Like
Yeah.
they haven't been in the series since like season 2, so
Like,
like season
I'd love to
3.
see like just like yeah, this is what it's like normally like for Grim Hunters. Like
yeah. No.
Like, just, like, more shit with
I'll show you the other like rolled over Ruby series video stuff.
Yeah, man. Show us, man.
yeah, because like the
Show
setup
us.
that I wanted for this that we got was I'm gonna go to school, become a monster hunter, kill cool grim things, and that was like the whole intro, and I was like I'm in. And then they
I
don't
mean,
do that
I get
anymore for the next like
story.
3 seasons.
They're going over the school arc, man. Come on now, you gotta have the school arc.
Look,
Don't
man,
need no
the
school arc.
training exam is like one little arc, and it's been like 3 seasons, and we still haven't gone to be cool dudes.
The tuning exam has literally spent like 3 or 5 seasons.
You think I remember anything about Naruto?
You think I remember anything about
Apparently, you
thing
remember
I
more than
remember-
me.
Last thing I remember about Naruto is Snake Guy beating up that orange haired guy. And
I
then
don't
killing
even
old
know
man.
what you're talking about, dude.
Yeah, like I know you're talking about Orochimaru, but I have like no idea what you mean by
Snake
orange
guy
haired guy.
beating up orange
hair
haired man.
guy.
Killing old guy.
Killing old guy. What are you talking? Whatever.
I know what he's talking
They're
about
on top
now,
of a roof,
but
and they're,
I'm
like,
still
doing
gonna
kick
leave it.
moves.
No, that's gonna be the name of the podcast. Snake Man killing orange hair guy.
No, beating up orange haired guy.
Killing old
Oh,
man.
and then he summons rock golems. The previous, what are they called? The Hokages?
Hokages, okay.
Yeah, those guys.
The cages.
That's what I remember.
Nick Cage.
Oh, and then Bull guy fighting Sand guy.
Who's
There you
Bull Guy? Oh,
Bulkhead
wait.
guy.
Oh,
Bull
yeah.
guy fighting Sand
So
guy.
like, yeah.
that's
See,
like,
like
the, that's like the best part of
like,
the show, dude. Like,
Yeah, see, Ricky's
Never
talking about
been
the
better.
tournament arc of the fucking of
Yeah,
Naruto.
see, I remember that part where Snake guy fights old guy and beats up orange haired kid or guy.
See, I remember the after that a bit is just where old man teaches Naruto how to do the Busangan or something.
I only watched like when they fought the dude who has the ice shit and makes like a bunch of mirrors, and they fight him.
Like,
And then the whole
Yeah, I
fight
didn't
is
know what you're
just,
talking about.
it's really early in the beginning, and it's like when they're like we all of the students are fighting one dude with Kakashi, and they're just like we have to just fucking peel for Kakashi so Kakashi can do the attack that'll win. And it's like everyone just trying to make this dude flinch, and that's the whole fight.
The
And
one
they
I
have to do
remember.
all this shit where they have to work together and be like
Look.
ninjas, and they work together, and then Kakashi does a cool thing, and they're like, we did it.
See, the only thing I remember is they go to Wind City. Kakashi fights his best friend with giant sword, convenient lame Zabuza.
And it was
Kills
just
him.
like one.
Ricky, are you just talking about Shippuden now? Because I think that's
No,
what he does
it's-
later.
This is still beginning, though. This is what I
Anyway,
remember.
this was like season 1 that I'm talking about, and then like after that they go to the fucking tuning exams, and I was so fucking done with Naruto by then that I was like, man.
Look.
And then I
I
just
went
kind
done-
of, I've seen shit just like by proxy through the internet, and Xavier sending me fucking memes.
See, like, I remember, I was like, oh, sick, Naruto trading card game? I got it. I got a bunch of questionnaire cards. It was
What does
like,
that even
this is
mean? What are you
Naruto.
talking about? Are you like
I'm
reading,
like-
are you like what, did you go out and buy like a Seen It fucking version of Naruto?
Ricky's just talking about the scene, it like little episodes that pop up. That's like his understanding of the show.
Ricky has a plane right now in the background.
Yeah, like,
You over here like, why is Naruto at such a low resolution?
We should play that for the fucking channel.
Seen it, and then we
I'm
can get all the
fucking-
copyright strikes.
all of them.
Look at this. I got Seen It Simpsons. We both have Seen It Simpsons. We can not play it.
We can play it in real life, but then only like me and Ricky are gonna know because only me and Ricky have seen like all of Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This is why
we
we buy
watched that
us-
with we did that once with my family, and only me, my brother-in-law, and my brother were fucking answering everything because we're the only ones who've actually watched all of The Simpsons.
No, this is why we buy like the most obscure thing, Seen It, that is out there.
Yeah, Seen It Naruto, dude.
Do they still like make just Seen It games like with fucking they used
I
to
don't
do with
think
like
so.
Monopoly? I feel like
I don't
it's
think
not
so,
nearly
yeah.
as big as it used to be.
No, it's because Netflix is out there, and what can they do?
Seen It Netflix?
It's-
I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, look at that. It's that easy.
Hasbro, get on it.
Yeah, man.
Dude, they can totally have like DLC packages where it's like fall, winter, or I mean fall / winter
Alright. Look at
of
this.
Netflix, 2018.
Seen It 2017.
Okay,
Wait,
what was
wait,
big in
no.
2017 for Netflix?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
When was Stranger Things?
That was 2016, 2015.
Was it? Let's see.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
That
Seen It's still
was-
big, but I don't understand why it's still DVD
It's
form.
still like here. I just don't think it's nearly as relevant.
All right, so
I remember a time
so
when
there's
there
like
was tons of
movies.
Seen It.
Yeah, I remember like people were, it was just popping up left and right. And just,
Yeah,
Oof.
no, but they can't do that much because who has a DVD player nowadays?
who has just use their consoles? I'm pretty sure somebody owns a
Think, like,
console.
There was like vanilla Seen It, and it was just like just general movie trivia.
Yeah, I mean, the one I'm looking at right now is the second edition of that movies.
I saw that one too.
It's $40. Fuck that. There's a music edition where Xavier can beat us, and possibly
Yeah.
Ricky.
Heard
Who
it.
can beat us?
Yeah, there's a music edition of Seen It. So I
And you
mean,
think I know names by songs and artists?
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
I only know
Alright.
like that one song by Phil Collins.
Just
Because
look at-
Vegeta is standing in the rain.
I remember the bullshit about Seen It is like they had shit that wasn't even like movie trivia where you like it would be like watch this scene, and then it was like what color were Bart's shoes, and I was like I don't fucking know what color Bart's shoes were on frame 43. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's that even
What
like? How
color?
is that even like trivia?
Well, it's trivia in some way.
There's Seen It TV edition. There's Seen It music. Seen It Junior. Seen It sports. Seen It Disney.
Yeah, but what year is it?
I don't know what years any of these are. I'm just saying, like, I have an old thing as seen it Disney. Seen it Nickelodeon.
I mean, how does Cena even work? I mean, like, do we just pull the card and
No,
I had to
you-
go look for that fucking clip
Okay,
of
so
like?
all it is like you play. It's a fucking TV game, right?
Yeah.
So you have the DVD controller in your hand, and then you fucking roll the dice or whatever, and you land on a space, and that space says go to this thingy, and it'll be like trivia, whatever question, and then you click on the thingy on the TV game on thing, right? Like on the TV of like the
Yeah.
color you got, and then it'll be like, okay, here's your question, and then it'll play like a thing. And
Yeah.
it'll ask like, what season did Apu join the Simpson family? Which I think is like 8? 7?
Not sure anyway.
It's pretty late in there. Anyway,
It's pretty late in. You know, it's when he sings the whole. He doesn't need the clicky mic.
it's a really funny song. Anyway,
It's the clicky mic.
that's kind of how it works. At least that's how I remember it working. And then like if
Yeah,
you
right.
answer,
You pop in the DVD and
and if you
like-
get it right, then like you get to move more or something.
you move one more, and then you ask another question on that, and then you move again if
Oh,
you
yeah,
answer right.
And I want to say there's also like specific things you can't cross until you get it right.
Yeah.
So there's like the 4 different kinds of questions. I have no idea what they are. I know one is like trivia, one is like dates and times, one is like actors or like things like that, something like that. Of that general concern.
So you're on it. Yeah, you're on it.
And you just have to get one of like each essentially, and then at the very end you have to get 4 right in a row, and then you win.
Oh yeah, you have to do 4 exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we spent too much time talking about Scenic because Scenic isn't even that interesting.
It's not, but we're talking about it.
Yeah,
At least it's something, no?
it's definitely something.
Anyway. Ruby's cool, I
Uh,
guess. I don't know. I want to like it more than I used to, and more than I do now. Like with the advent of like cross tag battle, I really want to like Ruby, but it's kind of hard.
I mean, I was playing Siege the other day,
There's a lot of
last night, and
dumb
I was
shit
like,
in Ruby.
last
You laugh
night.
because I'm right.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They were like, hey, because I guess they looked at my icon, but I was like ignoring them. I was like, I'm just gonna play the game. They kept like asking me. He's like, I'm gonna keep asking you until you answer. I'm like, fuck it, all right. I just typed in chat, and I was like, no, because at some point he was like, is that anime number 7 or something? I was like, no, it's like anime like 20,700. I don't know, I just wrote some random answer, and he gave up on like his joke like immediately after I typed in. I'm like, you motherfucker, you're gonna keep the joke going. Just keep it going.
That's people, man. They don't know how to keep jokes going.
And I mean, yeah, like they even knew, like they were describing the show pretty well as well. They were like, oh yeah, it's that like CG anime or whatever, with like just based on the hair, it looks like it's the girls from that anime. I'm like, they know what they're talking about. I don't know what else they want from me. They just wanted a yes or no answer if my icon was from Ruby.
I'd have been known. It's from the hit series named Jojo. Not Joey Jojo. Bizarre,
Joey
bizarre
Jojo,
adventure.
Joey Jojo, ho whoa.
How you guys liking part 5?
I mean,
Well,
I
everything's
I
already
guess,
gonna
I guess
happen.
Zarky, because me and Ricky,
Yeah.
we both know everything that
I-
happens in part 5.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
know
like,
that happens. It happened. It's happening.
I haven't
almost
seen any of it
exactly.
yet. How is the transition into anime, Ricky?
It's
Literally,
good.
the only thing I've seen from part 5 is the torture dance,
Yeah,
and that's because
it's
you
almost-
fucking added me.
Yeah, it's almost exactly what the torture dance was. They change it up a bit because of the animation process, you know.
It looks a lot nicer because it used to be just like 6 panels.
Yeah, they animated it pretty good. Like but since it's animated, and you're like, oh no, they did this and this part of the dance, and it looks like they don't do that. But since it's animated so nicely, you kind of miss it.
Yeah,
Like like where they like do the sick like V.
the
And
frames
all
are
the
there.
The frames are there, but it's so fast because they're doing it so nicely.
Yeah,
That it's not working. Like you're like, what? That doesn't look like a dance, but it's a dance.
because although it is a lot shorter than part 4, I was worried that they were gonna like chop it up like they did part 4. Not that part 4 was even bad in anime form. I feel like it's better paced.
didn't you guys say it was like a lot of filler in 4?
Yeah, there's a lot of filler.
I wouldn't say
for it.
that 4 has a lot of filler. It's just more
I'd say it's filler.
because I feel like that filler.
Yeah, see,
of
Ricky
just,
told
like,
me it was filler. I was
Fun
like,
with
oh, okay.
stands is just kind of what part 4 is.
I would say part 4 is more. It's not the fun with stands. It's more murders.
Yeah, but my
And
whole
then
thing
the
with
filler
that
is the
is
fun
that
with
Kira
stands.
literally doesn't show up in the manga, Zarky, until
Until the
like
very end.
till like the last like 2/3 into the fucking manga.
Yeah.
It doesn't do the thing that the anime does, where the end of the first episode is, and Kira's watching him. Like, that shit doesn't happen. Like, he
Yeah, all that
literally,
stuff.
like, the first time you see Kira is him just like, I'm at this place, I'm eating this sandwich, and I blow up this guy, and I'm gonna eat the sandwich now. And then fucking, what's-his-face grabs the sandwich, and it's like, and then he blows him up, like he does in the fucking, like, school. Like, that's literally the first time you see him. Like, it's right before that happens.
Yeah, and then in the anime they allude to him like a million times because
He's in the background, and it's super cool. Like, he's
And
in
it's
the
like-
fucking town.
And he's like in the anime, he's just walking around as like, with
Like,
just
you see
kids,
him in the
walking
background.
around.
You also see his other person, too.
You see the what's his face on
The guy whose body he steals.
Yeah, you see that guy too. You also see Red Hot Chili Pepper walking around too. Like
It's
you
really
don't see
cool.
him until when they beat him up at the end.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
So it's a lot faster paced.
It's a lot fast paced in the manga. The manga doesn't feel like there's like filler, but it's there somewhere. It's the fun with
It's
stands,
really
too.
long and dense, the manga.
I say 4 it wasn't my favorite, but it was cool because it was murder mystery. And there was sick Killer Queen stand.
See, all right, so like when I stopped reading the mangas for part 5 was when they got to Moody Jazz. That's where I stopped reading it because I was like, I gotta. It's hard for me to read anime on my phone because it's not the same feeling when I'm like reading the actual like volumes and shit. I'm like, yeah.
Dude, fucking digital
Bam.
manga reading to me is just so superior.
I'm with Jacob.
The fucking images is so higher quality and like bigger.
I
all
can
the
zoom in.
time.
I can
You can
zoom
zoom
in.
in. Which, like, especially because fucking. What's his face? Fuck, I can't remember his name because I'm fucking recording a thing. Araki.
Yeah, Rocky.
Yeah, Rocky likes to do that shit where he fills both pages with one fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, that shit happens in Berserk all the time, like in the manga. And, like, for the physical ones I do have, I'm just like, man, I want to see the middle! But you can't, because it's a book.
But the book cuts it in half with a stupid opening.
So I mean, but yeah, like
Right.
I'm liking it so far. Like I skipped part 4, like reading wise, because I was like, I asked Ricky about it, and he's all like,
So, like,
he's like something stuff, filler, stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm
my
just
first time through JoJo, part 2 was my favorite up until I read part 5, and then 5 was my favorite until I read part 6,
Part
and then
six.
part 6 was my favorite until I read part 7.
You read part 7.
And then coming off of 7 was just like the most godly high.
Yeah,
And
'cause
part
7 is
7
so
was like
good.
my favorite one for the longest time.
7 is so good, but
And now
to me,
I teeter between 7 and 5, and I think I'm sticking with 7 nowadays.
I'm like, man, 7 is really good. But then I'm like, there's also 6, which has like all the characters I like.
Man, I'm really
Literally all the
excited to
dudes.
spend like 2 years watching Suiken Part 7 because it's so long.
Part 7 is ridiculous.
They're probably gonna chop it up.
Yeah, but
The
they
thing
are.
is that you kind of can't.
You can't. You can because it's
You might be able to
stupid.
like rearrange it a little bit to make it a little bit more tight. But like they did a good job with part 4 with keeping everything that was like important, and like most of the chapters are there. But like with
Yeah.
part 7, like everything that happens is kind of important.
Mostly everything.
Like I'm just trying to think, like we're gonna have like 4 or 5 episodes before the actual Steel Ball run even starts.
It's gonna be like 6, dude.
Yeah, at least. Like it's
Because it's gonna
crazy.
be, hey, I'm this guy. I'm cool.
Like episode 1
Backstory.
we wouldn't even see either of the main characters.
Yeah, it would just
Episode
be like,
1 would
hey,
just be
I'm this
Poco
guy.
Loco.
Hey, I'm this guy. I'm really cool.
And the Native American who can run really fast.
And then it's like, hey, I'm this guy. I'm sponsoring the thing. I'm really cool. and then it just goes again, and then it shows who's this guy on a horse, and it goes to the next guy.
And then like we get Diego Brando and like his flashback, like first thing. And then, like, I'm just trying to remember. And then after we get introduced to Diego, I want to say is when, oh man, there's Johnny. Did you hear about like how much of an asshole he was, and now his legs don't work?
Yeah.
And then that's a fucking chapter. It's
That's
just
his
because all of those
backstory.
chapters are so long.
Yeah. So part 5 is good. How it's going right now. It's gonna get to the point where they're probably gonna cut it they're gonna do like a
Mid-season break or whatever.
the mid-season break, yeah, and that's where the second arc is gonna happen, when they are gonna go and actually fight, not really fight them.
We're gonna get Trish soon,
Yeah,
and that's like when that show begins, really.
The funny thing
it's a little
is,
bit
like,
after when they get Trish.
Yeah, 'cause
while
we have
I'm
a little
watching
bit of
it-
just getting to know Trish. I would say that part 5 really starts with the Fugo fight.
Yeah, that's when the Fugo fight ends, and they're like, "We're gonna go and do this,"
Yeah.
and then they're gonna go on the boat, and then everyone's.
Or would you say it starts with Mr. President?
No,
When is that even?
it's when they get off the train,
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I would definitely say it's like post Fugo fight.
because they get Mr. President after they get Trish,
Yeah.
and then when they get on the boat and they say, "We're gonna go and kill the boss," that's when
like the
it starts.
final reach.
That's when it goes. This is where part 5 starts. It introduced all the characters. Fugo fight happened, and that's when the boat part happened.
Yeah, we have everything that we have now. All of the pieces
And
are
then-
here.
And then the 3 dudes. There's only 2 of them. No, not only Fugo leaves actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, once Fugo leaves, and after his part of the fight, once he leaves, that's when it starts.
Yeah.
And then they get Trish, and then from Trish they get Mr. President, and then from Mr. President. it
Trying
keeps
to go to
going
too
on.
many spoilers for Zarky.
Yeah, it's just
it's
who
too
Trish.
late. I mean, like
Also, there's like a statute. I continue to believe that there's a goddamn statute of limitations on goddamn JoJo. This shit's been around for like 10 years at this point.
but nah, it's still going. I mean, like, okay, so
I
like,
won't
you guys have
spoil
explained
like
to
the
me-
big twist of fucking part 5.
Yeah.
But like I'll talk
Alright.
about other shit. Like I'm
Yeah, I mean, like,
literally
no, yeah,
I'm
you-
sure I've talked
you
about
spoiled
Palmer after you.
things about like,
We already spoiled the stand of the last guy.
Yeah.
didn't
yeah, I mean, yeah, like you guys have like told me like, all right, so this stand does this, but when it does that or whatever, blah blah
The
blah blah
primary
blah. I'm like,
reason we told you that is because I'm almost 100% sure the show is going to do a poor job of explaining it because the manga does a really bad job of explaining it.
we? Yeah, and one of the rumors me and Jacob heard were they took forever making it because they're trying to understand what the stand does.
They're trying to find a way to fucking talk about that shit and have it make sense in a fucking video format.
But they're just gonna lame it out and do what they did in the manga.
Because it's one of those things that like it barely makes sense in manga. So like, how the fuck do you transition it into an animated show?
And it's stupid because the manga's in Japanese only, and select Italian.
Yeah, that shit's weird.
I found the select Italian one. It was better translated to the Japanese one.
all right, and one thing like while I'm like watching it, I'm like trying to decipher what the stands names are by like the Japanese people saying them, because like obviously like the subtitles are like, what do they call fucking fuck, what the fuck is Giorno's stand called? Golden-
Jojo? His is
His-
Gold Experience.
Gold Experience?
Yeah,
He's
But
from
then-
the Prince album.
he's the prince.
Yeah, but like on the subtitles they call it like Golden
Golden
Shiny-
Wind.
Golden
Golden
Wind,
Wind.
yeah. So like I just like listen to the Japanese person say their like name over and over, and then I was like, oh wait, that's Booty Jazz. There we go, I got it. Ha ha ha.
I'm really curious to know if he's
And then they call
if
Sex
it's
Pistols Sex Pistols.
if it's still like the fucking video game where he's like yelling "sticky fingers" and the
Yes,
fucking
Jacob,
thing
yes,
pops up
yes,
and it says "Zipper Man." Like,
Yes, Jacob, he
Yeah.
did that
that's
like
so
3 times
gold.
already.
It's so
Three
stupid.
whole
Sometimes.
time.
You can hear
Um,
him saying "sticky fingers."
See, when he
Like,
fights when he fights Giorno for the first time, he goes,
It's all like sticky fingers.
And then in the bottom,
This is
I'm like, oh, why?
Super hands.
Why? And I'm like, oh yeah, copyright.
Oh yeah. Like it's funny too, just like hearing Sex Pistols is like Sex Pistols. I'm like, what?
Six Pistols.
No.
And I'm like, that makes sense. Six. I
Six
guess.
Sex, I guess. Yeah, sure. Sounds very similar, but sure.
Yeah, because I know all the names, the stupid ones, because the stupid video game.
What did they call it? Aerosmith in the
Little
game?
Bomber?
Yeah, Little Bomber. Like they didn't even
Yeah,
try
like-
on part 5, dude.
Yeah, wait, Little Bomber, my dude.
Aerosmith. Little Bomber.
Yeah, Little Bomber.
Not little.
is it not-
Lil. With an
Little
apostrophe.
Lil Bomber, dude.
Yeah.
I can't wait till he fights that one, dude.
Yo, real talk, Ricky. I'm just waiting for weather report.
You have to wait till part 5 ends.
I know.
Then you have to wait 2
I
years.
can wait like another like 3 years before I see the boy.
Yeah, how long did it take for the part 5 to come out?
About a year.
About a year.
Yeah.
Really? I thought it
A year and a half, roughly.
It's
You know,
pretty long.
Yeah, because they announced it, but they announced it like secretly, and people found out, and they're like, they're gonna announce it soon, and that soon turned into a year, and they're like, hey, we are actually announcing it at this conference that we weren't supposed to be at. And that's where it got announced again, publicly,
Dang.
and then it came out on that whatever day it came out.
Alright. I just found the greatest fucking video right now as we were talking.
Better not be Little Bomber, dude.
No, it's not a Little Bomber. Like, I don't know if Jacob wants to put it up while
I'm not going to.
it's there. Yeah, it's fine. Just watch that on your own time, though.
Yeah, I watch it on my own time. But that being said, we're kind of running out of time, and I realized that, quite frankly, me and Ricky can just talk for several hours about JoJo.
But yeah, because I know all of it. You know all of it. Part 7's your favorite. Part 7's like, hey, close runner up.
Look, everyone who reads it, it's either their favorite part,
But they don't like it. It's like
no,
weird.
or they accept that it's like some of the best JoJo that exists.
Hey man, I heard people. They're like, man, Part 7.
Those are the people who are like,
okay.
part 1 was the best.
The Part 1's okay, good.
Part 1's
it
not
sets
bad.
the mood. It sets the mood. That's my opinion. Like,
Alright,
it's not
so,
my
like-
favorite. I like.
I
Joseph,
continue
like
to say that
Johnson.
part 2 is just better part 1.
Part 2
Yeah.
just does it better. Yeah.
Like,
So, like,
if
one
part
of-
1's your favorite, you should like part 2 because it's just better part 1.
Yeah, I'm like. I
There's
know,
a time where Ricky was just showing me stuff, like Dark Souls and like JoJo. He's all like, "Hey, watch this thing." I'm like, "Okay," and he like explained it so like even spoiling what the fuck happens to Dio and
I
shit.
don't care. I just want to hear you go, dude. I don't care. This show is super.
No,
old.
yeah. Like he told me, he literally told me everything. I'm like, okay, it sounds stupid, but sure. Watched it. I'm like, Ricky, this is amazing. What is this?
Yeah, I was like, bam, I read this like a long time ago, and they made the thingy.
It's like he showed me as like they're like finishing up part 2. Weren't
They're
they?
finishing part 2. They're barely gonna. They barely were thinking of announcing part 3.
Hmm.
Cause that's when I started like, oh, I should watch part 1, I guess.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
I had read like all of JoJo, like 2 years before like the anime ever started.
I knew of it.
And I
by
remember
my
I
brother.
tried several times to convince Ricky to read it.
Yeah, I
And
knew
I
of
never
it by my
could
brother.
because he's like, I'm not gonna read like 1,000,000 pages of anything. I'm not even current in One Piece.
I wasn't current in anything. It's my brother was like, yeah, you should go read JoJo, and he was telling me because he watched, I think it was Matt and Pat.
Yeah, the
They
Super
were
Best Friend
talking
podcast,
about it.
when the video game got announced with like part 1 coming out, they started talking about it a bit because I think both Wooly and Pat had already
Yeah,
read
it
it
was-
before in the past and were like
Yeah,
really keeping
I
up
think
and
it
were
was-
excited for it.
Yeah, and I think Matt was like barely getting into it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think he didn't like it or something. I don't know. My brother was explaining. I'm like, I don't watch you, dumb friend.
If I recall correctly, he like when I tried to get my brother to start it, as soon as they kill Danny, the dog,
Yeah,
like it
they
just
got
puts you in such
right?
like a bad mood. You're just like, man, I don't want to read this.
I don't know. What's it called? Yeah, either way, because my brother, he had read it before that. I think he read it during like the Berserk stuff. And then he told me, hey, you should go read this. It's really good. And I was like, I don't really care.
I
And
don't
then
think
you
he
told
re-
me one day.
I don't think you read it until after this first season came out, and you're like, "This is pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm gonna read it."
Yeah, and then you told me it's like go read this, and I was like, I'm not gonna read nothing. I don't read or watch anything.
I specifically remember like as many times as I told you how cool it was. You're like, "It sounds cool, but like it's super long."
Yeah, it's super long. And
There's
then
so
and then
much.
Xavier was like, "Hey, do you know Roundabout?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, this is by Yes, one of like the greatest bands in the world." And then he's like, "You know Roundabout?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's by Yes." And he's like, "What the heck is a Yes?" And I'm like, "That's the band Yes." I got him into the band Yes because of Roundabout at the end of the show, and I was like, "This show's pretty good." And I'm like, the Roundabout got me in. And then I was like, wait a minute. Did I just hear this guy named? This guy is named Dio from Ronnie James Dio, the band.
I love that Ricky was the one to bring me into JoJo, because he just like started also explaining by like he's like, yeah, his name is Dio. You know the band? I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, well, there's a band called Dio, and then like he kept on going, like just explaining every like
Yeah, I just explained
dance,
Every
all
music
the
reference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just went boom this, boom that.
Get back,
I just
Jojo.
recently found out
Get
just
back
found out
to where you once belonged.
that Get Back, right? Is the song that that Iraqi based it because it's the Beatles and he likes the Beatles.
I've told you this before in the past, and
Yeah.
every time I tell you, you're surprised. Because
Yeah,
I
right?
remember being in high school and us not paying attention to class, and we're just talking about all the names, and you're like, so Dio's Dio, Zappelli's Led Zeppelin, these guys are the guitarists from Led Zeppelin. Like, we were going through them, and you're like, what's Jojo? Where's Jojo from? And I was like, dude, the Beatles song. And you're like, there's no Jojo Beatles song. And I'm like, yeah, dude, Get Back. And
Yeah,
then you were
and
like, what?
Yeah, look, and then I was like, wait a minute, Get Back. That song came out like not at the peak of Beatles, but like in the midway of the peak of the Beatles, in the midway part. And during that midway part, another band was there, and that guy also made a song named Jojo. Conveniently in the song Jojo, he talks about things that happen in the thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this makes sense now. It makes more sense now. And I was like, man. So he based it off like two different things. And I was like, this is really good. But still, I explained everything to Zarky.
yeah.
Man, I'm excited for Spice Girls, dude. Like,
Space
Spice
Girls.
Girls part of
Dude, you know who I'm excited for? What's his face?
staring at
Like
babies.
No. What's his name? Notorious. B.I.G.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I forgot about Notorious B.I.G.
It's Notorious.
Is he in part 5? Or isn't he in part 6?
No, he's part 5, boy.
Oh no, that was I'm thinking of Black Sabbath actually.
Oh wait, Bohemian
Like
Rhapsody is also in part 5, ain't it?
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah. Man,
Can't wait to.
this is gonna be a
We-
trip.
We
You
should
know
probably
who
come
else?
up. We should come up with
Is
like no
in part
trivia.
5? White Album.
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
White Album.
And you know what his special ability is?
being white and an album.
No. Beatles. Think of the Beatles. I had an album called the White Album, and they had the song in the album called "My Guitar Gently Weeps." So when he does his ability, he goes White Album, and he gets his ability right. Jarno's beating the heck out of him. He goes White Album, Gently Weeps, and then he just turns around to fight and almost beats everybody because he just says Gently Weeps.
Man, part 5's crazy, dude.
And I'm like,
Super specific.
super good. I'm only in JoJo because of the music
Yeah.
and big, not so burly men anymore.
We've
Because he
gone
turned it down. He
around-
toned it down to like actual like.
We went
human
know,
from
like,
big
proportions, but they're
burly
still
men
like.
from the 80s that we're now back on like the super
It was-
beachy boys of the fucking
Look.
90s.
His explanation is that he's just adapting to the time.
Yeah.
So in the early '80s, it was big beefy boys, and as the '80s flew by,
And now what? We're in like the late 90s with part 5, right?
Yeah.
like
Like early 80s or like late 80s.
It's based on 2000 or 1999. That's why. His
Because
name-
like
'Cause
Purple
almost, like,
Haze,
part-
Gold Experience, Aerosmith.
Part 4 takes place in the late 80s.
Part 4, it takes place in what year was it?
Like
19, yeah, it was 19. I think.
Man,
80.
I'm all messed up because part 8. Like, I don't know when anything
Yeah,
happens
Part 8
anymore.
just freaks everything out. Stupid.
Part
Western
8 takes
dude.
place now, right?
Part 8 is nothing. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Part
in
8,
modern
20. Yeah, part 2016.
What's her
And on.
face? Whose name I can't
thought-
remember because she has the same name as other characters that aren't even her gender and look nothing like her.
Yeah. No, she's like the girl Koichi, right? If I remember correctly.
Sort of?
Yeah,
So
if I remember
stupid and
correctly.
weird.
Because he just reused assets of his old names and put them in there.
Her last name is still Okuyasu.
Yeah, and the other dude's name is Hyros also,
Yeah.
and that's the last name of Koichi.
Yeah.
All right, so I wanna go with that JoJo Part 5 is like part like late 80s, early 90s because that's
No,
Green Day.
no,
in
no,
there.
Zarky. Part 5 is it takes place in '99 because that's when I think it was transitioning over to that year,
Yeah.
like 2000-ish.
Yeah, because I see Green Day's stand here.
Yeah, because it's like mid 2000, but if he's going by like when he made it, I think it was mid 2000-ish area.
After part 5, all of the parts are only like a year or two apart.
Yeah, it's part 5 is 1999 because of Mr. Brent's song "Party in 1999." That's why it takes place in
Which is why
1999.
I think like he ended up like partial of the reason why he ended up doing what he did with the end of part 6, because technically, like Josuke would have been a teenager when Jolene was a kid, but in like the little like short things he has where they meet, like he's like still a teenager and she's like an adult.
Yeah,
And it's weird.
'cause-
And then he's
yeah.
like, whatever, retcon. Doesn't
he
matter.
retcons all of it because all the stupid little things. Rohan meets everybody. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Rohan pretty much literally meets everybody.
Rohan goes to the Louvre and fights like crazy stands there for some reason. Because for some reason there's crazy stands in, in Paris. And I'm like, okay.
Well, we're pretty much out of time.
Yeah, you should.
We just became a normal podcast because we got into JoJo, which is exactly what I thought was going to happen when we started talking about JoJo.
Yeah, I was trying to be like, oh yeah, Ruby's cool. He was like, oh yeah, what'd you think about part 5? I was like, this is gonna end.
You know about Part 5? Let's talk about JoJo Part 5.
And part 5's good. I like part
But actually, Ruby's in Volume 6 or some shit. I don't remember anymore.
I don't care about Ruby. Ruby's not that great. I like the no, it's not that. I like the fan art that people make. There we go.
That's definitely one thing. Like, it was like
For some reason, Ruby fans are really into Ruby.
Yeah, I know, right?
one thing I was gonna like if this new season wasn't gonna be great. I was gonna be like, you know what? I'm just gonna stick around for the fan art. It's all I care for. I'm gonna stick to like the seasons that Monty Ohm was a part of.
Because the fan art that people make are
R.I.P. my boy.
pretty dang good.
Man,
I'm thankful that Monty made Ruby before he passed. There you go. Final thankfulness.
Yeah.
Final thing,
You want to go watch the season he animated for Red vs. Blue?
Yeah,
It's only like 2 hours long. We can just go do it.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Fuck it.
Hey,
It's
guys,
like he started.
If you're probably watching this, I guess the day before Thanksgiving. So if you just want to, it's on Netflix. Go watch his season in Red vs. Blue. It's pretty sick.
It's season 7. He's a part of season 7, 8, 7 through 10.
Yeah.
Those are the good ones, if I remember. But I remember watching them all in pieces because Jacob.
We literally watched them on VHS.
Yeah. And then when the internet came out in the middle school,
Yeah, when we had access to it.
we watched it on like old YouTube,
Oh yeah.
very old YouTube.
Man, that was
Remember?
crazy. Yeah. We did like nothing in computer classes in high school. Like they did
Oh
not
yeah,
monitor us at all.
no one did.
No one monitored us at all. We just watched Red vs. Blue every time.
We were playing some knockout version of Counter Strikes. All right, bye everybody.
Bye guys.
Yeah, see ya.
All right, good job, Ricky.
Anywhere you be, from New York to Siberia, cut up in your own beat and shake it, I'ma put it down, grab me this crown, lay your dollars on the ground, gonna double up now. 65 to 4 to 3, 2, one more time, heavy punchline about to cruise. sky. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Lay low, lay high, lay low, lay high. Until you feel the vibes that touch the sky. Feeling no pressure but a peace in the media. Getting jiggy with confound, please I'm telling ya. Anywhere you be from New York to Siberia. Gotta feel your own beat and shake it every day. I'ma put it down, grabbing this crown. Lay your dollars on the ground, gonna double up now. 6 to 5 to 4 to 3, 2, one more time. Heavy punchline about to cruise. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Lay low, lay high, lay low, lay high. Until you feel the vibes that touch the sky. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Lay low, lay high, lay low, lay high. Until you feel the vibes that touch the sky. Feeling no pressure but a peace in the media. Getting jiggy with confound, please I'm telling ya.